think so. And one. Hello? No. No. What? He did not. He did. No, he did not. Stop. What? No, he didn't. He did not wear that. He did not wear that. Oh my gosh. You want to talk to who? Baby Ninja? You want to talk to Baby Ninja? Okay. Baby Ninja, it's for you. Okay. So are you happy? You talk to Baby Ninja? You what? You want to talk to Timon? Fine. Here. Timon. Yes, it's really Timon. Fine. Okay. Timon said he doesn't like you anymore. All right. Well, listen, I gotta go. So give me a call later. All right. Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, we'll go to the pool. Yeah. Okay. People on. One minute. No, you cannot call me during it. Leave it. Go to the remix channel on YouTube, period. There are lots of people on this right now, period. Please talk to people in the group me and tell them how to find this video, period. 2 minutes, guys, 2 minutes. Mm-mm. All right, 1 more minute, guys. 1 more minute. Hey, make sure you share this link with people because people went to an old link that didn't work because there was copyright something or other. I don't know what happened, but please share this link with everybody right now. Right now. Please share this link of this live video with Squad. With Squad. Please share this link with everybody right now because people are on an old link that got shut down because of copyright stuff. Yeah, it's a big bummer, but we'll give it a few minutes. We have 41 people on right now, so we'll give it a couple minutes, get a couple people on here. Technical difficulties, I have no idea what happened. We had no music playing, and I got an alert that said, sorry, there's an error. We're taking your video down because of copyright infringement. There was nothing playing. I don't understand unless I'm copyrighted. Maybe I'm copyrighted. Am I? Is Mike copyrighted? Maybe my hat's copyrighted? Qbert. Probably Qbert. Sorry, the music's too good. All right, we got 42 people. Seriously, you have to share this link with Squad immediately. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. One of the leaders, please put it in GroupMe so they know what the fresh link is. Please. The good news is people will be able to watch it later. We'll be able to get the link out there. 40. How many? 47? 42 still? What's it say? 40. How many? 48? Right here. 49. Good. Okay, come over here. Come on, it's time. It's time. Special guest. Special guest. We gotta wait another minute to let people find this video. By the way, here at the Hall household, we've been making our own toilet paper before we run out. So we're just taking sheets of paper and just making them very soft, just in case. Just in case. Please put in the comment right now how many rolls you have at your house right now. I think we have 8, 9?
We just
9?
bought some today, so I don't know.
Oh, we bought 3 rolls today at Trader Joe's. Shout out to Sam. 3 rolls at Trader Joe's. FYI, they only sell it by the roll at Trader Joe's. By the roll. Is this still Next Mike? It's Coop. What the heck is Coop 101? Is that Next Mike still? Guys, we have an interview with Next Mike tonight. I just gotta make sure. Yeah, it is Next Mike. It is Next Mike. Okay. Okay, we got 62. We gotta jump in and start. Keep sharing that link, please. Usually we have like 90 to 100 right now, so keep sharing that link. Sorry for the snafu. Yeah, I know. We're dumb. I don't know what happened, but hopefully everybody's good now. Whew, that was exciting, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Was Dad stressing?
Yes.
Yes. Mucho stressy. Okay, so mucho stressy, but now we're here. Do you see that lamp over there?
Yes.
Do you feel the heat from it?
No.
I think it's a heat lamp.
I don't know what it's bright.
It is bright. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my daughter, Anley. Say hi.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I actually can't see now.
I know. Tell everybody what school you go to.
Lake Norman High School.
The Lake. The Lake. Do you guys appreciate when people call things like the Huff or the Lake, or I don't know what Hopewell would be? The Dub? H-Dub? Hopewell? I don't know. Hopefully middle schools don't start doing that, like the Bradley. I don't know. The Bronco. I don't know. I wouldn't want that. What is Pine Lake Prep? The Pulp. The Pulp. The Pine? They call themselves the Pine.
I don't know.
No, they don't.
I didn't know. I don't.
Woo! All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get jumping in because we're going to show a video interview in just like 4 or 5 minutes. But first, welcome to Remix Live. Here's what I would ask. Please take your mobile device, unless you're watching it right now, put it somewhere else. That would be really awesome because it's so easy to get distracted during Remix Live. It's so easy to be distracted. If you got to go into the bathroom and lock the door, I don't know where, closet, garage, back porch, just go somewhere where you're not going to be interrupted. We have one chance during an entire week of life to all be together at the same time. This is it. We got like 35 minutes tonight. Then we're going to jump into huddles probably after that, unless you were already in huddles. I don't know. Most people are getting on huddles after this in Zoom. Woo! I wonder who has the record of being on a Zoom with the most people in it. Some guy, my neighbor, told me he was in a Zoom with 200 people. Clearly, they were all muted. But, yeah. I've also heard crazy things about, like, people jumping in, like, Zoom classrooms that aren't even in that class. Like, someone from, like, France will just jump in. It's like, it's kind of like what is it called? Photo bombing? Zoom bombing? I don't know. Is that a thing? Has that happened to you yet?
No.
No?
I've been on like 3, so.
Have you Zoom bombed someone else?
Yeah.
No, you
And I
haven't.
zoomed someone in France.
Oh, in France?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Okay. Here's the microphone you got talking to there.
Okay.
Okay.
ASMR.
Okay. So here we go. We're going to start things off with the thing we like to call yes and no. Yes? I like that one. Yes. Here we go. Are they going to cancel Mega Camp? Because maybe you signed up for Mega Camp. Are they going to cancel Mega Camp? Mega Camp is the end of July to the very beginning of August. It's 5 days long. We still have about 15 spots open. We've got about 130 already signed up. Not that I've heard of are they canceling Mega Camp. I'm sure it will be a day-to-day type decision. But as of right now, I have not heard a single thing about them canceling Mega Camp. So be calm, be rest assured, and here we go. Wait, that answer was... No. There you go. Next one. I heard that cats and dogs have gotten the virus. Can they be contagious to people? No, they cannot. I have also read this. I've read about one cat and one dog that have contracted the coronavirus, COVID-19. There is no scientific data that shows that they would be contagious to a human being. Okay, got it?
Yes.
All right, cool. Next one. Should I care just as much about school since it's not really graded the same? Yes.
Could not understand.
Absolutely. This is where you take control of your own destiny, where you prove your character by taking things seriously, and even when someone is not at every minute telling you to take it seriously. School is bigger than just getting grades. It's about expanding your brain, learning how to critically think, and learning things even though sometimes they seem pointless. But here we go. Next one. Can I still hang out with friends? Both of them. Is it no, baby? All right, here we go. Yes and no. I would say this because there's this limit to like 10 people or less. We're trying to keep any time people get together to 10 people or less unless you are family members, okay? There's not really a rule unless someone has been in contact or has contracted the virus. But let me say this. For the next 2 weeks, it's probably going to be about 2 weeks, we all have to be so insanely mega careful. Anytime you go somewhere, don't touch doorknobs. I mean, just be careful. Be careful, be careful. I would recommend covering your face with something when you go to the grocery store, when you go anywhere. Just be careful. We are at a really critical time in America with this disease virus. So please be careful. I would say not really hanging out with friends. If you have to, 6 foot distance. Don't touch each other. Don't cough in each other's direction. But I would say keep it to FaceTime for now or Snapchat. Are there things that I can do to help my community that don't cost money? What is it? Well, yes. There are things you can do to help your community. So, for example, we went to the grocery store. We bought a bunch of
Chips and soup.
Chips and soup and kidney beans and tortillas and a bunch of bags of chips. Some drinks, maybe? No drinks. Oh, and we took it all to the to Caterpillar Ministries. But what's even easier than that is just drop it off right inside the front lobby of Lake Forest Church. It is open every day because the coffee shop is open for people to come get takeout coffee. Define Coffee is open. So here we go. It is now time for trivia. Hold on. I never finished that thought about things you can do. Yes, we went and got food. That's one thing that you can do. And you can actually take some money out of your piggy bank and take that money and actually give it towards this cause to take care of people who might not have food. You could write letters. We actually have something set up where we're going to write letters to an old folks home. You'll find out about that. If you're part of a huddle, you'll find out and get connected with that. Write letters to people in an old folks home. Or do what we did last night. We had a Zoom family game night. And this is actually something I know. It was a struggle bus a little bit. But then it was fun at the end, right?
Yes. Sure.
The most important thing is we were doing something together for like an hour and a half with the extended family on Zoom all over the country. You can do this with teammates. You can do this with friends, people from your class, whoever it might be. But keep in mind, maybe people from Remix. There are people that don't get invited to do a lot of that stuff. So keep those people in mind. Say, you know what? I bet Ricky doesn't get a lot of invites to do stuff like this. Let me invite Ricky. You know Ricky? Or Sally.
I know her.
Yeah, Sally Pants 47 on Instagram. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for trivia. Everybody knows the rules. There are 8 questions. Stop. There are going to be 8 questions with 8 answers. Tonight, our very own Jonathan Paget will be the scorekeeper. So whoever shows up on Jonathan's screen, first and second, they are going to get points. If you're third and you got the right answer, are you going to get points?
Say it again.
If you're third and you got the right answer, you're
No.
going to get... Exactly. What if you're second? You going to get points? Exactly. So we're going to total those up. The person at the end that has the most points, you're getting pizza delivered. Where?
Your house.
To your house. For just you?
Whoever you want. Oh.
No, for your whole family. You're getting pizza for the whole fam-damly. What is that even? Fam-damly. I don't know. You're getting pizza for the whole family. 4 questions right now. 4 questions after our amazing interview between Kip and Next Mike, which we're going to get to in about 3 minutes. Here we go. First question. You ready? You can read it? Because I'm one of them.
Wait.
So obviously the answer is at least one.
Is this thing on?
Go ahead.
How many full-time youth staff have worked at Lake Forest?
How many full-time youth staff have worked at Lake Forest? Now, we're talking
does that
about
mean?
Lake Forest, Huntersville, not the other Lake Forests. But it goes back about, it goes out to 2004. This goes back 16 years. How many full-time staff members have been in charge of running the youth ministry at Lake Forest? Make sense?
Yes, now.
Okay, I'm sure we have a couple correct answers. Let's go to question number 2.
Who currently has the most followers on TikTok? I follow this person, so I am one of them.
Yeah, does she make good? I mean,
Ooh.
do they make good videos?
Yep.
I'm glad to know that. Okay, here we go. I'm sure we've got 85 correct answers. Let's go. Next one. Number 3.
Wait, okay. What is Ninja's real name? But you have to elaborate who Ninja, well, I guess if you don't.
I'm sure people know who Ninja is. Ninja is very famous. If you're a leader, you're probably stumped, but everyone else, well, most people probably know who Ninja is. What is Ninja's real name other than Ninja? Okay, question number 4, and then we're done with round 1. Here we go.
Sorry, I had to proofread. What famous event in the life of Jesus do we celebrate this coming Thursday?
What famous event, the most famous out of all the things that we celebrate this coming Thursday as part of Holy Week? Today's Palm Sunday, next Sunday's Easter, Friday is Good Friday, but Thursday, something happened. If you read the scriptures, you will see something happens on Thursday night. Very important, and we celebrate that, make a big deal about it, because we got a lot of amazing things we can learn about the kind of person Jesus was by that event in his life. Okay, now, speaking of Palm Sunday, do you remember when we watched church this morning?
Yeah.
Remember that time? Okay.
Yes.
And then Pastor Mitch had a farm animal with him.
Donkey, no.
He had a what?
A donkey?
A Donkey Kong? We were trying to figure out why Donkey Kong is called Donkey Kong, but it doesn't matter. So Jesus shows up where? Riding a donkey? Where? It's a city.
Oh.
It's called
Jerusalem?
Jerusalem. He shows up in Jerusalem, and he's riding on a donkey, and that expressed what kind of thing? That he was like super bad and like, oh, everybody look at me, all eyes on me.
Mm-hmm.
Party don't start till I walk in, ride in. Is that what he was trying to accomplish?
No.
Exactly. He was trying to show
What? Humility?
Humility. He was trying to be humble. They were expecting this like guy to come in, the Messiah that they've been praying for, this king. They're like, he's going to come and he's going to just open up a can on the Pharisees and the Roman government. Oh, it's going to be amazing. Then he comes riding a donkey, and they're like, what? This is not how a king should act. But Jesus is a different kind of king. He is a king that is very, very humble. And he was showing, look, I'm actually riding into town on a donkey, which is a sign of surrender in a battle. If a king came forward from the ranks riding on a donkey, it was a sign of surrender. And that's what Jesus was doing. He knew exactly what was happening. And he wanted to show us that that he was humble. And we should take his example. Okay, here we go. That was round 1. We'll do round 1 next after our interview with Next Mike. Here's the deal. This interview, you need to stay locked in. There's a lot of interesting things. If you start to like zone out or something for whatever reason, just do that. Just smack yourself around a little bit. Focus in. There's some cool stuff that Mike and Kip are going to talk about in this interview, and I got to hurry. So we're going to play this interview, and the next 4 questions are all going to come from the interview content. Just so you know, you're going to have to watch the interview so you can hear the answers to the next 4 trivia questions. Now I'm going to press play. Here we go.
Yo, what's up, Mike?
Oh, what's up? I didn't even see you. What's up, bro?
Yo, where did you just come from?
Dude, I was chilling. So
Yeah, seems like it, dog. That's crazy. Look at that shirt.
Oh, thanks, bro. Yeah, this is from Kanye's Sunday service tour that he did months back. But I found it online. He had like a little flash sale, and I wanted to cop it real quick.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro, I love it. I love the design, the art, and just how bold it is. Like, it's just Jesus. So.
Yeah, this is Westtown, Virginia. Definitely not nearly as cool as that. That's amazing. Well, Mike, you've been part of Remix before. You've come around to hang out at Remix, and not only that, but you have performed some music for us at Remix before. Done some songs. I think you actually. I'm trying to remember if you had some individuals come with you. You had friends and people come to perform with you. Um, uh, but yeah, we never really got to ask you more so about your personal life, and I know that there's a lot of questions that people have had over time, and yeah, we just love to get to know you more, man. So,
Yeah, yeah, for
where
sure.
did what first off, what's your full name? I'm gonna let you
Yeah.
your full Christian name.
My yeah. My full name is Michael Anthony Paulino Albin. So birth name Michael Anthony Paulino, Anthony being my middle name, and then it's hyphenated at the end Albin. Albin is my stepdad's name, but that man has raised me since I was pretty much just born. Like I was barely born, and he stepped in and did his thing. So I decided on my 18th birthday to add on Albin onto my last name, just as a gift for him and the respect that I have for him. So
Wow, that's awesome, man.
yeah, that's dad. So I had to do it for him one time, but it was awesome. So
Wow.
yeah.
So, Mikey Polino, sorry, I need to get the whole name down. Where'd you grow up, bro?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in New York. So I was born in the city. I kind of bounced around from a few places. One of the most exciting places I lived was Chelsea, Manhattan, which isn't far from Times Square. So I lived there, grew up with mom, grandma for a bit. I was in the Bronx for a little bit, and then I was also in Jamaica, Queens as well.
Wow.
Jamaica Avenue is a super popular district in Queens. And then I also lived, after we were done there, we moved out to Long Island when I was like I think 12 maybe.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, so I was in Long Island. That's where my family is still at. They live there, my mom, my dad, and my two little brothers. Yeah, but I came here when I was 17 and never really went back. So
Wow.
yeah.
So definitely different culture shock compared to North Carolina, especially being in such high population areas, I'm guessing, correct? Am I correct in that?
Yeah, everything was just super like dense and concentrated. Long Island was more spread out. But like in the city and everything, yeah, like little apartments and cramped and stuff. But I
Yeah.
don't know, like growing up there and then looking at it where I'm at now, I liked it. Like I think that's why I'm always wanting to be around like people, and I always like, I love performing and I love doing all this stuff. I like it loud. Like I just like that high energy atmosphere. So I think that's kind of like played a part in it, just growing up there. So
That's crazy. That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. I could totally see that as being part of how it shaped you into being who you are now, for sure. What was life like for you? Middle school, high school, like where did you go to school? And I know you said you were in Long Island at 13, so like you probably went to a couple different schools, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so I was actually raised. My parents sent me to Catholic school from the time I was in kindergarten up until like middle school.
Okay.
And in middle school, when we moved, I went to a just full-on public school. So that was a super. I mean, I just got to see so many different aspects of life, and I meshed with so many different types of kids. And I always tell my parents, like, I'm grateful that they took me out of Catholic school, not because of it being Catholic, but just because of it was just so small, and I didn't really get to learn and develop the skills to like mesh with people of different backgrounds and all that stuff. So when I went to this big public middle school and high school, man, I just got to meet so many different types of people.
Yeah.
Got to hear about all their walks of life and where they've come from, and it just started also allowing me not to like take things for granted that I had, and just seeing, where everybody's from. But
Wow, I never would have guessed that you went to Catholic school.
yeah, man,
That's crazy.
and we can talk about the Catholic faith a little bit more later.
Yeah.
But definitely some cool things to share there too. But yeah, so middle school was great. I don't really have any complaints. I was blessed enough to go to a pretty solid school. I mean, a big public school, but overall, I thought we had it made. Super grateful for that. Did some sports in middle school. Baseball was my big sport. and so I did that. I sang. I was in chorus, which is kind of funny too. I sang for
Yeah.
a while. Yeah,
Hit
I
one
did.
real quick for us, Mike. Come on. Don't
I
leave us
don't
singing.
time for this song now. Okay. Anyways, so I think
Unreleased.
I think so that was good. But middle school was great. Started meeting like some of my just awesome friends that I still have to this day.
Mm.
High school was great. I know some people have like negative experiences with high school, but honestly, like ours was awesome. It was
Mm.
huge. I mean, my graduating class had almost like 1,000 kids.
Wow.
And it was weird. Like it was so big, but still, like everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
And I was always like part of like different cliques and stuff. Like I didn't really belong to just one group. So I was that kid that was friends with pretty much everybody, but I also did the activities that like several different groups did, if that makes sense. So like
Hmm.
I had like my boys that I played like ball with. I had like I used to skate for a little bit, so I had like my skater group. I had like my academic people because I was pretty intelligent. I don't know how I was trying not to sound like cocky when I said that.
No, he's a teacher, guys. He can say that. He's a teacher. So
I got good grades, so I hung out with
good.
those kids.
Good.
And also did some music stuff. I had them. Um, and then just like I was just friends with everybody. But
Yeah.
I used to like break dance and stuff too.
Was it hard for you
So,
to change? Like, did you feel like you changed from group to group, and did you feel like that was weird, or how did you feel about that?
um, honestly, like no, it was just because I just so many different things like appealed to me. So I didn't look at it as like, all right, I'm with my boys now. I'm playing baseball. Like, okay, I'm going to skate later. I need to flick this switch off and turn
Hmm.
this one on. Like, and everyone kind of knew me as that kid. Like, I just did everything. Um, but no, I didn't feel like I had to really like force it. It just seemed pretty genuine. So
Mm. That's
yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah.
yeah.
I think I think that's really neat that you had so many different things. I feel like that so many different influences like that I mean, that makes you into who you are now. Next, Mike, with rapping, and could you outball anyone in the chat, Mike? What do you think? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, outball anybody. I think if their name has a vowel in it, I could probably beat them. Um, other than that, everyone else I think is safe. But if you have a vowel in your name, like, yeah, you're done. Like,
Got you. Got you.
that's it.
So Mike, when did God come into the picture? Like, I know you were in Catholic church, Catholic school,
Yeah.
and which entailed Catholic church as well. But was that like you understood Jesus fully at that age, or did it take a while? What was that like for you? What was your experience?
Yeah, man. So first off, like I always tell my parents, I'm super, super grateful that they put me in Catholic school. Looking back
Mm.
at it, because it really gave me, although I may not have like dove too deep into the faith, like I was taught the basics and the fundamentals. So I've never doubted like the existence of God. I've never doubted who Jesus was and what He came to do for us.
Mm.
But it also felt like that was the only thing I was taught, and like Jesus is the most important like person, and like that's why we do what we do, and that's why we are the way we are. But we never really like dove into anything. It was very surface level.
Got it.
So growing up in the Catholic Church, I mean, very structured, very orderly. We had like mass in the morning. If you don't know what mass is, it's like service basically, just for Catholics. So we would have it on like Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we would like walk around the where we would like meet and have service, and we would have like our rosaries in our hand, and we would go down bead by bead and say a prayer for each bead. And then when you got to like the really big bead, you were like, okay, like this is like the really like long prayer, which is not a good mindset to have. But it was just kind of like forced on us, and it was more routine and regulation rather than like relationship.
Got it.
So God, fast forwarding, like I didn't really start having experiences with people who were genuine about their faith until like I went to college. When I went to college is where I really started like diving into the faith, and I just had so many people, like, my testimony is just consisting of like so many people that just prayed for me and loved on me all this time, and I had no idea what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. So I would say I was introduced to who Jesus really was, like, between like freshman and sophomore year of college.
Yeah. Where was college at?
I went to UNC Charlotte.
Oh,
Yeah, UNC Charlotte, and graduated with two degrees, one in elementary ed up until the 5th grade, and then one in special education up until the 12th grade.
very cool. So did you feel like at Charlotte, when you met those people, like it was one of those things where, it was easy to find them, or was it difficult to find a group of people that believed in Christ, or?
Yeah. So I think it's funny. Like, I think God, obviously, like, if God wants to reach you, I mean, he's everywhere all the time, but if he really wants to rock you, like, he's going to do it regardless. So when I went into college, I had no intention of like exploring Christianity or anything like that. Honestly, I thought it was weird, because I had heard stories and seen how these Christians, would act, and I'm just like, I don't want to be a part of a group like that. And I'm talking about some of the more extreme, like, radical people. But man, like, just people were placed from freshman year up until graduation. Christians were placed all around my life, like in my freshman dorm when I was in the high rises. Our RA was a Christian, and he started hosting these Bible studies, and I went just because it was like a bunch of guys just chilling, and like we didn't know what we were like getting into. But man, he was just so like bold with it. And then from there on until like senior year, I just had so many people, like I said, man, that just God put in my life, like as I walked through college. And two of the most important people for sure were two of my friends that I met in the education program. It was just two girls. So being a guy in an education program, like there was no guys. Like it was me in my program. It was me and like 29 other girls or something like that.
Wow.
But so they were always like, we were always kicking it, and nothing like nothing like weird or anything. Like, we were just like best friends. Like it was just natural. And they were always trying to get me to like go to their campus ministry and like go to church and stuff. And I was always just like, nah, like that's not for me. Like I love you guys and I'm always going to kick it with you, but like you keep that part of your life to yourself, and I'm gonna do me over here.
Gotcha.
But man, like they literally pressed on for like over 3 years, but they were never
crazy.
like, they were never like, you better come, or like, it's not going to be good for you, or like, you got to come, like you need this, like, which was true. Like I needed it, but man, every time I would just say no or make up an excuse, they would be like, it's okay. Like, maybe next time, like we still love you. And that was the first time that I had this interaction with Christians who I didn't see eye to eye with, but they didn't like condemn me. They didn't like put me down or kick me or anything. They were just like, it's okay. Like, we're still going to love you. Like that was their ministry. How they reached out to me was just by being themselves and by hanging out with me.
That's so cool.
They played a huge part in my faith throughout college. So
that's awesome. Well, two things actually. I don't know if you knew this. I went to UNC Charlotte for 3 years.
I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I went to UNC Charlotte for 3 years, and that's just. Where did you live? I lived in Sanford.
I lived in Moore.
Let's go. They're right across from each other. For people who don't know, they're actually both torn down now. So they just tore them down.
I was so sad when I heard that. So many memories in there, bro.
I wasn't sad because they were gross. But moving on, I think one thing you said that was really good is I think I was the same way, man. Like I was saved when I was 16, but I think that there's like a common misconception that like all Christians are weirdos. I think that's like even what I thought too is, man, like a lot of Christian people are super weird. And I think I was really shocked when I found out that there were a lot of really cool people that I liked that were Christians. And then also you had said that there were Christians that condemned you. And I think it's a really fine line between, finding people that you get along with, but then also people that aren't going to completely overbear you to like pressure you to come to everything that you need to come to. So those are two really good points.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that these two girls just being themselves is really like, if you look in the Bible, it talks about bearing fruit, and like that's what they were, like joy, patience, love, peace, kindness. They were all of that, and to this day they still are. But I really think ultimately like, that's what helped lead me to Christ. And I'm so grateful. I don't know where I'd be today if I didn't have him. So
Man,
yeah.
that's awesome. And we're glad you are. I think something that'd be really helpful for some people watching this, all the remixers. So some people have asked before, and I know I've even asked this question personally, how do you figure out what God wants you to do with your life? Like how do you figure out what he is calling you to? I mean, it could be a lot of different things, but yeah, what do you think?
So first off, as cliche as this sounds, I don't think there's ever anything that you should contemplate trying to figure out, or a path that you're trying to decide whether is right or wrong for you, if without like praying and reading. I truly believe like those are two of the biggest things. So for me, it's kind of like three-pronged. So I would say like through prayer, if you're speaking to God and he's letting you know, or he's like giving you signs like, hey, this is something that I want you to pursue. Now, the problem that people have with that is a lot of the times, more so than not, it may be something that you don't necessarily see yourself doing in that moment, but the Lord knows like, hey, I want to use you for this. So it's a tricky part, but I think the other two help with that as well. So one, prayer. Two, is the word, and that's just feeding yourself. That's just feeding your soul. You need nourishment. Like that's the only way to really put it. And then the third one that I think a lot of like these kids can relate to, especially when they go through that awkward transition of like high school to college and then college to the real world, like is the Bible talks about God putting people in your life that will affirm and reaffirm your gifts and your passions and your talents and stuff like that. So I think obviously like, and I say this not in like a cocky way, but in a reassuring, like God was letting me know I needed to do this. When it came to music and I would just mess around and do demos and stuff, a lot of my friends who I knew would be honest with me because they're my friends, they would be like, have you ever thought about like doing this? Like, bro, like this sounds good, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, well, no, not really. But over and over again, they would reaffirm it. And eventually I was like, okay, well, maybe this is like a path that God wants me to take. It may be, I may be doing this for free for the rest of my life, or it might be part-time. It could be full-time. I don't know, but that's not up to me right now. I just need to follow what I feel like God's telling me, as well as the input of the people he's put in my life who are important to me.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So I would encourage all the kids and like even adults. I mean, people who transition in their 30s, 40s, 50s. I mean, it happens at every walk in life. But my biggest piece of advice would be being in the Word constantly, being in prayer constantly, and pray like specifically and boldly, like God revealed to me like what you want me to do. And then the last one is people are going to reaffirm it in your life. They're going to tell you like, hey, you're good at this, or hey, I don't think this is the best path for you. Have you thought about this? So that would be my advice in figuring out like what you need to do. So.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. I think that's like such a good way to word all that. I think those are all like awesome answers. Mike, thank you for giving your time, man, for talking and telling all those things. Can I ask you last quick thing? Well, two quick things. One, if you could collaborate with any artist, who would it be? And then second question, if you could ask any question to God, what would you ask him? And then
yeah. All right. If I could collab with anybody, I would 100% be in the studio with Kip Wolf, everybody. Oh, I just want to make it happen. Oh, I just want to make it happen so bad.
We got music coming, guys. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay. He's not lying, though. No, on a serious note, yeah, man, I would have to go with, no doubt about it, Jon Bellion.
Ooh,
100%.
agreed.
Man, like, just watching that dude's cover videos and his songs in the making on YouTube and his documentaries, like, and just, dude, we've talked about this before, but I truly believe that he's going to be the artist of this generation that we are going
Mm.
to speak about until we die. Like I think his music is timeless, and there's nobody that sounds like him. He's in his own genre. I don't even know what you would call him, but
Yeah.
he's Apple needs to make a drop down genre that just says like John Bellion.
That's so. It's so true. That's hilarious.
That needs to be him. And I think also like the reason why I would say him is because I think I told you this, but I met him in like 2012 when he was really like nobody. We're both from Long Island too, from like
Mhm.
neighboring towns, but I saw
that's
him
crazy.
perform. I saw him perform at Chapel Hill at like this really small like. Dude, there was like 30 people there,
That's so
and
crazy.
it was in 2012, and he did the whole thing, live band, live vocals, and to this day, I have not been to a concert better than that one.
Wow.
So man, just if I could get in the room with him in the studio for like an hour or a day or a year, man, it'd be a huge blessing. I feel like we could make something really special. So
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
And if you could ask God any question, what would it be?
this one's tough. I do have one though, and this may be a little deep. But hey, if you're gonna see him, you might as well.
Yeah.
Man, if you want to get down to like some philosophical stuff, I would ask him like, you've got this big debate on like, like can you freely accept Christ, and like are there the chosen people?
Ah.
And man, it's tough. Like I've prayed and done a lot of research and talked to so many friends about it, and man, to this, like it's tough. It's really hard. But I would ask him, I would say like, am I living my life like according to your will? Like, am I part of your like grand plan? And like I said, that's a
Wow.
tough question, and it's like super deep. But if I had 10 seconds with him before I passed away, like I would like to know that.
Yeah. No. It's like super serious.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But that's good. No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's just where my mind is. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. I would ask him, why did he create mosquitoes? But I mean, that's way deeper than yours. So, Mikey, dude, thank you so much for being on here. Let's give it up for Mike Polino.
give
Here we
it
go.
up,
Some unreleased music.
give it up for for the
Yeah, there we go. We plugged it. All right, guys. You've heard it here, folks. Next, Mike, EP or album dropping pretty soon here in the next bit.
few singles coming out, and then we'll announce the project. I'm excited for you guys to hear it. It's some of my best stuff, and so I'm stoked. So
I love it, man. Praise God. All right, thank you, Mike.
all right,
Have
bro.
a great day, brother.
You too, man. See you guys.
See ya.
All right, we're back on. We're back on. We're going to go really fast so you guys can get the huddles. Here are the questions. No, right now we're listening to Next Mike.
He's just gonna move.
You guys never heard Next Mike? Right here. Actually, incredible musician. So good. You need to find NXT MIKE on Spotify right now and follow him on there. Here we go. Trivia round 2. 4 questions. Everybody knows the rules. Here we go. Question number 1. These are all from the interview. We're going to go so fast. Are you ready, Anley?
Sure.
Are you guys ready? I hope you are. Here we go.
What state did Next Mike grow up in?
Oh, what state did next? We need music for this, don't we? You think so? There we go. Okay. Next question.
What sport did he play in middle school?
Oh, he mentioned one sport that was his main sport that he played in middle school back in that state that he grew up in. Then we got to go through all the answers to these.
Oh,
Remember.
okay. What
Number 3.
What
Sorry.
college did he go to?
Oh.
We got the answers to
You think the
all.
college is around here where he went?
Maybe.
Mm,
Interesting.
maybe.
Interesting thought. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. Last question.
What question did Kip say he would ask God?
Oh, switching it up. What question did Kip say he would ask God if he could ask God one question? Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of trivia. We're going to go through the answers in 1 second, but let me say this first. Instagram, if you are not following LFC Remix, all one word, LFC Remix, on the Insta, you need to. Doing a lot of announcements and stuff on there. But tonight at 9 o'clock, Kip and Next Mike are going to be on live for about 30 minutes. Live stream on Instagram, LFC Remix, answering your questions. So it's going to be like a Q&A. So it should be awesome. Make sure to check that out, 9 o'clock tonight. Let's go through the answers, Anley. How about it? How many full-time youth staff have worked at Lake Forest Church?
4.
4 total. Who currently has the most followers on TikTok?
Charlie D'Amelio.
Yeah. What is Ninja's real name?
Tyler Blevins.
Tyler Blevins. What famous event in the life of Jesus do we celebrate this coming Thursday?
Big dinner.
The Big Dinner. The Last Supper. What state did Next Mike grow up in?
New York.
New York. What sport did he play in middle school?
Baseball.
Baseball. What college did he go to?
UNCC.
UNCC. And what question did Kip say he would ask God?
Why are there mosquitoes?
Why are there mosquitoes? Guys, I've been Mike. This has been Anley, my co-host. You guys have an awesome week. Head to Huddles. Go wash your hands. Be safe. Adios.
Bye, though. ASMR.